The character of Wikstrom from the Kalos Elite Four was a great addition for the Pokémon Journeys anime to expand upon the goals of Ash and Go. However, he shouldn't be the only Elite Four to show up in this series, right? Greetings trainers, KuroBlitz here, and welcome back to another video. Today I will be discussing the possibility of more Elite Four members from several Pokémon Leagues of the Pokémon World franchise to appear in the Pokémon Journeys anime. As we do know, several Elite Four members have already appeared here and there, however the fully members of the Elite Four that we saw was the Indigo Elite Four, 3 in the original series and one of them being Agatha in the Advanced Generation, while the only series to introduce all of their Elite Four members was the Sinnoh Elite Four in the Diamond and Pearl series. So we need more members, not to mention that we still are in this debate if the Indigo is just Kanto or if they are Johto, because Lance's placement is always between Elite Four and Champions, so they don't decide if they want to actually show the Johto members or not. So we are in this kind of place of ambiguity, but this ambiguity needs to end. Ash and Go expanded upon their characters and goals with Wikstrom by training Pokemon and having more Pokemon with their roster, with Farfetch'd learning Detect and Go getting Scizor, so we need more Elite Four members to expand upon their goals in some way, shape or form. And that, ladies and gentlemen, it's why I'm here to talk about. Today, I will be discussing my personal top 10 debuts for Elite Four members in the Pokémon Journeys anime. Without further ado, let's get started. As for number 10, I do have the character of Koga, because this is something very simple. If they don't decide if we are going with the Indigo League being Kanto or Johto, just have the character of Koga be a member of the Elite Four, so that the character of Lance can always be the Indigo champion for both Kanto and Johto, even though in the anime they have different league conferences depending on the region. But with that, the character of Koga being an Elite Four, it leads for the character of Aya, his sister, or Janine, his daughter, to be the next leader of the Fuchsia Gym. That way we can have some kind of Kanto pandering, but also to expand upon how Ash's progression also means the progression of people that he met and battled in the past. So Koga needs to show up. For number 9, we have the character of Sydney, the Dark Elite Four of the Hoenn region. I do love the character of Sydney, sadly he's never very expanded upon, but in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire he was given an Absol, and he has some kind of visual similarities with the character of Hoji from Leverage Town in Pokémon Journeys. I really want for Sydney to show up. I don't know how he could potentially help Ash or Go. Maybe Go to some extent, because Dark types do help with capturing Psychic types, and Go's Go is to capture Mew, so that could help. And it could also help with helping, Lucario. If Lucario has the Justified ability, maybe it could help Lucario to some extent with the dark moves of Sydney. Like with Absol, with Groudon, Shiftry, Cacturn, Mightyena, whoever more. He just needs to show up, okay? Now, as for number 8, I do have the character of Will from the Johto Elite Four. And I don't think that the character of Will showing up would mean that he is a member of the Elite Four, but maybe it's a character that it's training to become an Elite Four member. And that is kind of a must, and being, a psychic expert, it would help Go in some capacity, but also help Ash maybe with Mimey, because realistically Ash doesn't have any psychic Pokemon besides Mr. Mime that it's albeit his own, but I think that the character of Will would be a great addition to the cast, and he's a must to show up because Johto barely had anything, right? Now, for number 7, the character of Glacier from the Hoenn Elite Four, the Ice Expert. I do believe the character of Glacier has great potential, most likely for Ash to some extent to help with Glalie and maybe get the Mega Stone for Glalie in Shoal Cave, a place that we never saw in the anime because we went to the Izabi Island instead, where Ash caught Snorunt. And it could help also go to some capacity with Dewgong and Arctozolt, so the character of Glacier is a must for us to see. As for number 6, I have Chantal of the Unova Elite Four, the Ghost expert, and the character of Chantal would help Go to some extent because she's a novelist, so she writes books, so it could help Go in some aspects with research purposes, and she has a goal arc just like Go, so she could help Go to some extent, but maybe also Ash, but not so much on the Gengar side, and that is for the character that I have on the number 5 spot, and that is the character of Phoebe, the Ghost expert, but the one from the Hoenn League, because Phoebe, she's from Hoenn, her grandparents are the Orb Protectors of Mount Pyre, again, one place that we never saw in the anime, but just like Chantal, Phoebe is another Ghost expert that doesn't have a Gengar on her team. However, in the anime they can bend the rules to their favor, and maybe these two characters could help Ash with Gengar to some extent, and going to Hoenn to explore the myths of the orbs, well, that's Go's research to some extent, and I would love to see Mount Pyre in the actual Pokemon anime. Now, for number 4, I have the character of Grimsley. Grimsley, it's an interesting character, and also because the character of Grimsley, he basically was an Elite Four member, he still is, but in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games, like he's in Alola, he gives you the Sharpedo ride, and that's his Signa Sync pair in Pokemon Masters, and I like to believe that, you know, maybe Sydney retired as an Elite Four, I don't know which incarnation would see him, but Sydney and also Phoebe, they have the Hawaiian attires, and meeting Ash could help them because Sydney also goes by, you know, Chance, right? Grimsley, sorry, I was confusing the Dark experts. But Grimsley, I think it would be a great way for, because Chance and Luck, you know, like with Ash and Go, like basically, you know, the two sides of the coin, like there's always a third perspective. I would love for him to basically maybe help Scraggy or Crocodile now that we know that Ash's former Pokemon are going to return. As for number 3, I do have the character of Drazna, the only Kalos Elite Four member that hasn't showed up yet. We saw Seabolt in the Alan special, we saw Malvin Team Flare arc, and now Wikstrom. We need to see Drazna, especially since Drazna is a dragon expert. She can help, you know, Gudra and Noivern and maybe other Pokemon to some extent. She can help Go with Eternatus or whoever more he will capture, maybe Flygon as well. And Drazna, her grandparents are from Celestic Town. That's a town where, you know, Cynthia's grandparents also are. And Cynthia has a sister in the games, but we never see her besides, you know, the NPC format. I'm not saying that Drazna is Cynthia's sister, but I do like to believe that maybe the character of Drazna leads to something in regards to the Sin remakes of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, or also because of Legends Arceus. So her character, the character of Drazna, just to finish the Kalos Elite Four, it's a must. It's definitely a must, okay? And now, for number 2, I do have the character of Karen, the final member of the Johto Elite Four in Gold, Silver, Crystal, and also Art Gold and Soul Silver games. The character of Karen, she's a Dark expert, but she has also a Vileplume and also a Gengar in the games. This was for her to not have a Tyranitar, but they could have done it. However, I do like the idea that, you know, her philosophy is to battle with your favorites, so she could help Ash and Go to some extent, and if she has a Gengar, she could definitely help Ash. And Karen is a fan favorite. I think that many people would be pleased to have her in Pokémon Journeys, and if we don't have, you know, we will most likely not have a Let's Go Johto unless Game Freak outsource Masuda again to like how they're doing it with the remakes, because we have Meganium as a Pokemon in New Snap. We have Typhlosion for Legends Arceus because of Cyndaquil. Maybe Totodile will be in Pokken, like Feraligatr being in Pokken 2 because of the sumo wrestling of Johto. If we don't have Let's Go Johto, at least give us some Johto love. I mean, we do have the character of Tokyo and Celebi, so Karen, I like to believe that Karen needs to be in the Pokémon Journeys anime. And with that, last but not least, the number one Elite Four that needs to show up in Pokémon Journeys is Marshall. Marshall is the apprentice of Alder in Black and White games, and now that, yes, we have Iris and she's in her champion attire, but just because she's in her clothes it doesn't mean that she's a champion yet. That is still to be confirmed. However, the character of Marshall is interesting because he's an apprentice of Alder, and basically Ash in Journeys is kind of like Alder Light, so he could help both Ash and Go. Like, he's a fighting type expert, so Lucario and Surfetch will benefit from that, and being an apprentice of a champion, it could resonate to Go because that's what Go is to some extent. He's an apprentice of Ash, and I do love the idea that the character of Marshall could basically lead to more Don George tournaments and even the return of Stefan, because I always hated how the Club Explosion ended with Stefan not battling Marshall. Like, Trip can battle Alder, but Stefan cannot battle this guy. That's just a disrespect, especially when Trip had a Conkeldurr in this, so maybe Marshall needs to appear in Pokemon Journeys. Guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. I basically already covered, you know, the Elite Four members that I want to see in the show. Let me know what are your thoughts, who do you want to see more. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. So I'll catch you on next time, trainers.